Good morning, everybody. You are listening to 89.1 FM WXVU Villanova Student Run Radio. 1:16 p.m. Wednesday, April 5th, 2023. Happy early Easter, and I hope all of you guys are doing well, finishing up classes, doing what you need to do to get through to this break and enjoy some much-needed time off. But while you're doing that, let's have some fun in the locker room collectively. Sean Rankel, Liam Holloway, Truett Carstetter, as always. We got a lot to talk about today. Some NBA stuff. There's, I think, around 3 to 4 games left in the schedule right now. Teams are solidifying their playoff seedings. Still a lot to figure out, especially in the West, so we'll definitely get into that. MLB opening day. We talked about it last week. We talked about our predictions and what was going to happen, and now we can have our reactions to what's going on. We'll talk about biggest surprises from around the league, most disappointing teams, most overperforming teams, how are these new faces and new places doing, and much, much more. And then we have to recap the NCAA tournament. Of course, unless you've been living under a rock, you know that LSU won for the women's and UConn won for the men's, so we'll definitely get into that, especially the very juicy Caitlin Clark versus Angela Reese beef. Not really any NFL to talk about. We usually start with that, but we're going to get into some NBA. But before we do that, don't forget the YouTube, Fun in the Locker Room, same name. Twitter, Fun in the Locker Room. Go follow those socials as soon as you can. Please do. And we'll be sure to interact with you. But as always, let's start with NBA. Let's talk about the East first. And we texted each other last Thursday when we knew a lot of the top dogs in the East were going to be playing each other in the remaining X amount of games of the season, and two notable games, and I'll let Rank take the floor for this. Celtics over the Bucks in a blowout fashion, and then last night Sixers over the Celtics. We'll recap both games and then give our reactions. And does this change the way we view the top dogs in the East? Does this change the MVP contest? Rank, why don't you set the scene for us?
Yeah, it was after listening for a couple weeks about how you guys did not believe in the Celtics and how you guys thought the Celtics were going to have problems in the playoffs. They went out and did a statement performance against the Bucks, 140-99, absolutely crazy, huge performance for everybody around. Tatum dropped. I'm trying to pull up the stats right now. The game. Tatum dropped 40. Brown had another 30. Everybody contributed up and down the lineup. Brogdon had 14. Brogdon had a plus-minus of 41. Absolutely ridiculous. Team played out of their mind. It was just a great game. Great showing all around. They held Giannis to 24 points, Middleton to 13, and Jrue Holiday only had 6 points. So great showing, both ends of the court. Great game, and it's a nice statement win that I think the Celtics needed after they were. It felt like they were slipping a little bit. They were 7-3 their last 10, so weren't really slipping that much. But I felt like in general, just people were a little concerned about them. So it was nice to get that off our backs, get a nice victory going into the playoffs, and it was a nice win overall.
Liam, anything?
Do you guys feel more confident about the Celtics now?
I guess, yeah. I mean, it was a great win, but before that, they lost to the Wizards. Should have won that game. Game yesterday, I think, was indicative of.
We could switch to the game that happened yesterday.
Basketball.
Absolutely crazy game. Celtics lost by 2, 133-131 to the Sixers in Philadelphia. 103-101. Sorry, my bad. I knew it was something with threes and ones. And Joel Embiid dropped 52
on 80% shooting, 20-25.
Absolutely insane. I think it's cementing him as probably the MVP favorite at this point. Played an amazing game. The Celtics, though, give them credit, kept battling. The 4-point play at the end of the game, crazy.
I really hate the foul baiting that the Celtics do. I think they do it more than any other team.
Wow.
You're a Mavs fan.
It's firing.
You're a Mavs fan. You're talking about foul baiting.
Derek White in particular. No, it's just like the leg kicks off the threes. He does it every single time he
They
kicks
don't call
a
it as
three.
much anymore.
They're not supposed to, yeah.
It's just ridiculous, though. But, I'll give the C's credit. They're a great team. But I think yesterday's game was a lot more indicative of the playoff basketball that we're going to see.
The only reason I don't think that, I didn't watch the game. I was watching the highlights this morning about it, though. And I felt like a bunch of situations, there are players on the Celtics rotation right now that were guarding Embiid that come playoff time will not be anywhere near Embiid.
It's just going to be Al Horford and
Robert Williams and Grant Williams and those guys, three of them guarding him. Meanwhile, I was seeing him cook Luke Cornett and Mike Muscala, which, no offense to Luke Cornett and Mike Muscala, I don't want either of them guarding Embiid anywhere close to any playoff series.
Yeah.
So, congrats to Embiid for doing that, but I'm not as concerned about the game because of the fact they battled back. But absolutely amazing game. Going to be a amazing postseason for all three big teams in the East.
Shout out
to,
PJ Tucker,
yeah,
11
that's
points.
That's what,
Is that what you're gonna
exactly
say?
what I was just going to say.
Yeah.
Hit three threes in the last 4 minutes of the game. Isn't that insane? Masterclass from the man, the bald, short man.
I think this also probably is indicative of depth. I think the Celtics need to get healthy because if you look at, you're putting Grant Williams in the lineup and you're putting Derek White in the lineup, the bench is looking pretty putrid outside of Malcolm Brogdon. No one else scored besides Malcolm Brogdon. So obviously rotations tighten up in the playoffs, but you got to get healthy. I think first and foremost.
I feel like at this point in the season, though, there's a lot of guys that I think like Verlander talked about in baseball. Like if this was the postseason, these guys would be playing. Considering it's a regular season game, they're resting at this point.
Sure, yeah, sure.
But when you get into the playoffs and you have a starting lineup of Smart, Brown, Tatum, Horford, Time Lord with Grant Will and Derek White and Brogdon coming off the bench, maybe even throw a Sam Hauser, Blake Griffin a couple minutes there. I don't know. That's a rotation that, if I was anybody in the Eastern Conference, would terrify me.
I also say what I said about the Celtics bench, and I'm looking at the box score for the Sixers, and they scored 10 collective points off the bench.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're doing much, other, besides that. Surprising that Maxey, 5 points, very quiet night for him. Tied for the highest plus-minus, though, so clearly his impact was felt. Harden, average to above-average game. It just shows that Embiid really, taking over, and I think this is a great segue to, both Jokic and Embiid, last time I checked, have plus odds for the MVP. So we don't endorse gambling, but you should sprinkle some money on both of them because, or on one of the two of them because you're gonna get plus money. So is this pretty much all solidified? That
So
Embiid wins this?
currently on BetMGM, Embiid is at minus 600 and Jokic is at plus 700.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that really changed. I
That's
thought
crazy.
they were both at like plus one something.
I think
a
the
few
50
days
points just.
ago. Wow.
I think Embiid's got this. I don't love Embiid, but like he's played an amazing season. He's finished twice. He's finished runners up back-to-back seasons.
Yeah.
I think the time's coming for him, and I saw a stat today. He scored the most points this season by a center since Shaq in 1999-2000.
Wow.
Like he's just a difference maker especially on offense, the ability to score the ball. Like
Yeah.
the Sixers aren't here without him.
That's crazy to think about, too, because he's missed a ton of games this season, or
Yeah.
a good amount of games.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, I think there's really no discussion anymore. I know a couple weeks ago we were saying it could be up in the air, but Embiid has just shown these past weeks he's had his MVP performances. You need your kind of MVP moments, and
Yeah.
52-point win against the Celtics at home, close game like that where it was a complete carry job. That's an MVP performance.
And the 80%, that's just
Yeah.
crazy.
Statement game.
I mean, it's a shame that I feel bad, to play a little devil's advocate. I feel bad that Jokic pretty much had this award for 75% of the season, and then, it went from a toss-up to now it's Embiid's, because all the advanced stats say that, Jokic is kind of the best player in the NBA. But I think, there's a lot of factors. You're talking about MVP performances, rank. You're talking about, coming runner-up twice in a row to the same guy. A little bit of voter fatigue for Jokic. I think this is awesome, though, for Embiid because I don't know how long you can keep doing this at this level. Not saying he's going to drop off drastically, but at this level. So if he went through his, however long his prime is, and he never won an award, and he's known as the guy that was runner-up 3 times in a row to the same guy, I think that'd be really unfortunate for the league in general. I think it's good to see this for sure. And I didn't realize it was that drastic on BetMGM. So it's pretty much you can't make any more money. So I take away what I said. Do not put money on that in the event that there is an upset of the century.
Well, it definitely plays into the narrative, too. As you said, voter fatigue. People are getting tired of Jokic winning awards. People were going as far to say is that the award was racist because Jokic was going to win it again this year. I think all of that combined with what Embiid has done this season, it's going to be clear cut. I think.
Yeah.
Pretty much set that in stone that he's going to be the MVP. And
it's flipped a bunch around this season. Like, we go into the season talking about Tatum and Luka, and Tatum started off really strong, and Luka had a good middle stretch of the season. Jokic was consistent all year, but Embiid just pulled away at the end.
And that's kind of the way it goes with award races, I think, nowadays. We saw that with the Depoy last year. Marcus Smart won the Depoy. I think he was 6th with about 3 weeks left in the season, and he jumped up to 1st. Obviously, this is not as drastic, but the end of the season is taken into a lot more of an account.
Yeah.
As playoff push starts, people start to actually watch regular season NBA. I'm happy for Embiid, though. It's well-deserved.
Definitely well-deserved.
Very nice. And it looks like, let's stay with these for a minute, look at the standings. It looks like everything's kind of wrapped up a little bit. The top 10 are pretty much solidified. Unless you think the Heat can pass the Nets, everything should be really solidified here.
I think the Nets are the tiebreaker, so it'd be not impossible, but hard for them.
Who do you think comes out of this play-in tournament, out of those 4 teams?
Right now, I'd take the top 2. The Heat and the Hawks, I'd take.
Yeah,
I mean, any one of these teams could win in a one-off game. The Hawks have been 500 for the past, what is it, like
30 games?
Yeah.
they're like perfectly 500
Yeah.
sort.
Yeah.
Like their
They win
point
and
differential
lose.
is
Win and
like
lose.
perfect.
Yeah.
So it's either you win or you lose. What's it going to be? Like, which one?
They have the opportunity to win. They only have to win one of 2 games, so I'm going to give the Hawks the benefit of the doubt of their ability to win one of 2 games.
So the Bulls need to beat the Raptors twice.
Beat the Bulls Raptors play.
Yeah.
Heat Hawks play.
And then
I think the winner,
loser of
the
Heat Hawks will play winner of
Yeah.
Raptors Bulls.
And do they have to beat them twice or no?
No, so the 9 or 10 seed would have to win 2 games.
Whereas a 7-8 only has to win 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct. That first one.
So 7-8 play. If the Heat win, argument's sake, they're in.
Which I think that's very fair because you got to give the 8 seed a chance to give them 2 chances to get the 8 seed because the 9 and 10 shouldn't just get a cakewalk into the 8 seed for 1 game.
Well, that's why it's the play-in. We want to get more teams involved. They should have a little bit of a penalty for being 9-10.
Exactly.
And that could flip. The Raptors are
they're
tied with the Hawks.
Yeah.
The Hawks could be in the 9 seed, and we could be. I feel like I'd be more confident with the Hawks as if they stay the 8 seed and get 2 chances than the other way around.
Because they'll win one of them.
Yeah, I think even one of the 2. Finish 500 in the play-in tournament too.
Flipping the script a little bit to the other side of the league where really nothing is set in stone, maybe outside the top 3.
Top 4.
Yeah.
Excuse me, top 4. 5 through 11, and we'll throw the Jazz in there. 5 through 12, I mean, there's a lot up in the air. Liam and I have been monitoring the Thunder and Mavericks for a while because the Thunder are a half game in that last spot. Mavericks are a half game out. Both teams are kind of struggling a little bit as of late. And we'll talk about the Lakers, Clippers, Warriors, and all that in a minute, but let's stick with the 8 through 12 rank you were talking about before the show, what the remaining games are.
Yeah, I really think
I
think it's down 10 to 11 at this point between staying in the play-in spot. I feel like the Timberwolves, the 2-game lead over the stuff, I feel like they're pretty solidified. The Thunder, going down the stretch, I think have the Jazz first, and they play the Grizzlies, which Grizzlies might have everything locked up. Not easy up,
games.
but just see how much the Grizzlies are going to try in the last game of the regular season. The Mavs, on their other hand, have... The Mavs have...
They have
the Kings, then the Bulls, then they finish off against the Spurs. So, Bulls have kind of locked out their spots, so have the Kings. So we'll see. It's really going to come down to what teams are trying to win games at this point.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when it comes to for the Thunder, to your point, I don't know how hard the Grizzlies are going to try, but the Jazz sure as heck are going to try. I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see.
The Thunder have the tiebreaker currently, so I think the Mavs would have to win probably all 3 to have it and hope the Thunder lose 1.
Yeah, the Jazz have a very strong schedule left. They still have to play the Nuggets, Lakers, and Thunder. The way the Lakers are looking, and we'll get into that later. That's not going to be an easy game. The Pelicans, do they still have a chance in this? Oh, they're the 8th seed, so they're in it. They're pretty much locked in it. They still have a hard schedule. If they lost out, because they have Grizzlies, Knicks, T-Wolves.
It's really going to come down to Thunder Mavs in my mind.
Yeah, I guess if they lost out, then they'd probably still be in it.
Yeah, I don't think the Jazz are going to catch it. I don't think the T-Wolves or Pelicans are falling out of it.
So Liam, we have a little 1v1 match going on here.
Yeah, I kind of hope we
Little
lose
show
this.
battle.
Kind of hope we lose this.
Why?
I'd much rather want our pick and rebuild. Like half the guys on the roster have to go. We traded our only 2 tangible assets for a Kyrie rental where Luka didn't even play for the majority of those games. The roster's just garbage.
How do you feel about Kyrie now that you've dealt with him for a little bit?
It's expected to test free agency.
Yeah. I mean, I really liked him on the Mavs. I think he definitely helped a lot.
Helped.
Yeah.
The record before and after him is not that good.
Well, you can look at the roster
I know.
before and after. We got Kyrie.
Would you do that trade? Would you do that trade again if everything was even? Would you trade Doe for Kyrie?
Probably not. Because, I mean, you saw like the roster was just better with.
I think at this point,
defender.
I think Doe would be more helpful to his team than Kyrie. Like literally just him on the
Well,
team.
we need a defender. We traded our only defender and our, secondary ball handler for Kyrie. We don't have any defense on our team right now.
You got a
The
better
roster's just-
secondary ball handler, but you lost your defender.
We lost our only wing defender. We just put him on. We just put Dorian on their best player, and it would be fine. We could win games that way. Plus, he could make a 3. A lot of guys on the Mavs roster can't do that. But this team, you look at their roster, they're just not.
So what's the
like a
answer?
team.
Like what's? I feel like it's become a season after season of them just not having an answer. It's looking like the Chargers in the NFL, this team that just constantly can't do anything. It's got a great player.
I wouldn't say that. The Chargers haven't made a championship.
I know, other than last year though, but like
game.
year after year, it's like the Mavs are constantly close.
Year
but
after year, it's been 3 years. Luka's carried them to the playoffs every single year. In the bubble, they lost to the Clippers 4-2. If there was some spotty officiating
All right,
going
so
on,
then
they could have
fine.
won that one.
This is a regression.
This is a regression.
This is a
yeah.
big regression.
But I think this is the worst team, like outside of Kyrie and Luka.
But so what's there to do to fix it?
Terrible. You send Reggie and Dwight Powell to Shanghai.
Actually, send Reggie to his island that he just bought.
Yeah.
Bullock Island.
He's making money moves. Got to focus
Home
on
of the
making some
bricks.
threes. Yeah. You keep Jaden Hardy, Josh Green, Luka. If you can re-sign Kyrie and Christian Wood, that's what you do, and you just have those 5 guys. You'd let anyone else can walk, anyone else can go. I really like JaVale McGee. I thought he played incredible for us this season. Unfortunately, Jason Kidd didn't play him until these last couple of games. Our only center that can rebound and defend. Dwight Powell, as a starting center this season, averaged 4 rebounds.
Sorry.
I think that's all I need to say. I was really happy because this trade showed when we got Kyrie that like the front office was actually going to try and make moves to make Luka want to stay. But you have to go out and spend a little more money. You can't have guys like Dwight Howell and Reggie Bullock in your starting lineup. They're just not NBA starters. Especially when you have talented guys like Luka and Kyrie on your team. Coming off the bench, that's okay, but that's such a big hole. You have Davis Bertans getting big minutes, Justin Holiday getting big minutes. Dwight Powell's their starting center. Reggie
I know
Bullock,
that this problem is just so hard in the NBA these days to you got to find players that one want to come to the Dallas Mavericks and 2 you have space to do things with.
Yeah, that's the problem. They have so much money tied up in guys that just don't deserve it either. Bertans getting paid $16 million a year. Reggie Bullock's $10 million a year. Timmy's on $20 million a year. No one else in the NBA is going to take these contracts, so we're just kind of locked into this. I don't know. Dwight Powell's on $11 million. Like,
and there's not many I guess there's some free agents you guys could go after. Top free agents in this class are Russ, Harden, Middleton, Kyrie, Porzingis, D'Lo.
I'm really honored that you put Russ first.
He's just ranked number 1 in this
probably
thing for
because
some
of
reation.
money, right?
Yeah, definitely money. Definitely
Hey,
ranked
take
number 1.
Russ on a minimum, bro.
No.
K-Love,
It's not good.
Vucevic, Van Vliet. Like there's not many guys that I feel like can turn this team
We
around.
just need role players.
Karis LeVert wouldn't be a bad signing.
I would really like Karis LeVert, but we need role players. We need guys. We have nobody that can play defense, and we're dead last in the NBA in rebounding.
You guys should look to trade with the Nets again, but other way around.
I really hope Kyrie, for how we treated him so far, the fans have really liked him. And everyone.
Do you want him back?
I hope it's a sign and trade. That would be best situation for us.
It would be.
Maybe get a pick.
Because I feel like, not that Kyrie's like, obviously I hate Kyrie. I think he's a problem on the team, but in bigger picture for the Mavs, they need players around him, and throwing more money at 2 star players is not going to work.
We need players around Luka.
Yeah.
And we need defenders. We need guys that can play defense. Guys, we need a center. That's what we need. We need a big man. A lob threat, someone that can rebound the ball and play rim protecting defense. Luka's never had a guy like that. Christian Wood's great. That's another thing too. I get into it every show. Jason Kidd's going to be gone after the season, which is, if we don't make the playoffs or the play-in, Jason Kidd's gone, and
Do you think he's actually gone though?
I hope. I mean, there's no reason why he should stay.
I know, but
he's single-handedly lost his team games.
He's not a Mavs legend, but he's he's a Mavs lifer.
Okay.
I don't know if Cuban will pull it. I know he should be gone.
He's got to go.
I just don't know if he will be gone.
He shouldn't have been the coach ever. I don't know. It's just he single-handedly lost his games. The do-not plays are insane. His rotations don't make any sense. Twitter's been begging for a Luka, Kyrie, Christian Wood, Jaden Hardy, and Maxi Kleber lineup, which it should be. That should be the starting line. Twitter was begging for it. They were down 20 the other day. That lineup brought it all the way back. Then he put Reggie in for overtime, and we lost.
Got to keep Reggie happy.
Yeah, I don't know. This team has a lot of holes. I think starting with the coach. I think the coach has got to go, and then we can move on from there. But yeah, long story short, Troot, I hope we lose. I hope that we get our pick, because that would help us a lot more than making the play-in.
Okay. Okay. Let's so I want to ask the same question about who makes it out of the play-in tournament, but I also want to ask, I think first it's more important if we look at 5 through 7. Big game for the Warriors last night, because if they had lost that, I think the Clippers would have been the 5 seed. And the Lakers would have been the 6th seed. I don't know. The math's not really coming to me. But right now it's Warriors, Clippers, Lakers, 5 through 7 in that order, separated by a half game. Huge game tonight, Clippers, Lakers. I won't go into it too much, but the Lakers have been on a tear recently. At the trade deadline, they were 13th in the NBA. They're now 7th in the NBA. Attribute that to the pieces, attribute that to Anthony Davis's health, attribute that to LeBron coming back and playing well. As I mentioned, Clippers Lakers tonight, huge game. It'll be on ESPN. I'll be watching it. It's gonna maybe determine who gets the 6th seed. Rank, how do you see this 5 through 7 ending up?
I think the Warriors stay in the 5th seed. They've got the inside track, obviously having a game ahead on them in the win column. I think they can find a way to hold on to it. I'm not sure if their last games are home or away.
Would you like? Oh, that does matter. Would you like their remaining games? For
Yeah,
each team?
sure.
Golden State plays the Kings and Blazers.
Yeah.
Lakers play the Suns, Clippers, Jazz, and the Clippers play Suns, Lakers, Blazers.
So I think the Warriors probably have the 5 seed or the 6 seed at least. I think it's going to come down to the game tonight. I think whoever wins the game tonight will probably get there. Clippers fall off a little bit 5-5, but I feel like this is where Kawhi's got to put his foot down and have a statement game against LeBron tonight, and I think he's going to.
And it's been tough for them to stay afloat without PG.
Yeah.
I don't really recall what the timeline is.
I think he's coming back, and it was 2 or 3 weeks from March 20th, something like that. So
yeah.
He's getting close to coming back, probably.
And I agree with you, because if you look at the Lakers and Clippers schedules, we're going to give them each a dub against the Blazers. A dub against the Blazers and the Lakers a dub against the Jazz. So, and they also both play the Suns, and then they have this game. So it's going to be. I agree with you, Rank. I think it really comes down to tonight, and then I'll give Golden State the edge over. They're going to beat the Blazers. If they beat the Kings, then it's locked up. Even if they don't, they still have a half game lead. I think it's going to end up like that too.
update about Paul George. It seems like he is likely to miss the first round of the playoffs.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's probably going to be the only round for them then.
Probably, yes.
Regardless of what seed they get, it's going to be their only round.
Yeah, Liam, so what's your opinion on this?
I mean, does it really matter? Like,
Well, I guess, does any of these teams scare you in the playoffs?
the Clippers, the Lakers,
Or the Warriors?
The Warriors do, because I think if they play the Suns first round matchup, I think that's their best matchup. Or they're not going to fall to the 7. But whoever plays the Suns and the Grizzlies, I think, is that's best case scenario. I would not want to play the Kings.
I don't understand why you say it doesn't really matter, because I think it really does matter when it comes to the matchups, as you're saying. Like,
I mean, I think the only team, I guess, that I wouldn't want to play is the Kings. But I think the Lakers or Clippers could beat the Grizzlies and Suns? No.
you don't think they could beat the Grizzlies?
No. Not the Clippers without PG.
Yeah,
That's true.
that's fair.
But I think the Lakers or Pelicans could cause some damage against the Grizzlies.
I
That's
think
fair.
Lakers definitely more than the Clippers, purely because of LeBron James in the playoffs.
Yeah.
All right, let's segue into the play-in tournament, and Liam, stop me if you would like to see the other scenario, but we're just gonna play it out as the Thunder get the 10 seed.
This is best case scenario, so yeah.
Okay, so we won't even acknowledge if the Mavericks get the 10 seed. Who do you see making out of this play-in tournament?
I think the Thunder beat the Timberwolves in that
Ooh,
one-off
okay.
game, and then, is Zion just like?
There's still no timetable.
So he's not going to play in the play-in, probably.
I would guess not.
Yeah. LeBron James has experience in the play-in tournament. I'll give him the nod for that.
So Pelicans Thunder,
Yeah.
who wins that?
Oh, that's tough.
That'll be a great game.
That will
I would,
be a
I
great
would love to
game.
watch that.
I don't know.
It's just who wants to get swept by the Nuggets, really?
Yeah. Yeah. I guess in that case it doesn't really matter. I'll throw you Bone through it. I'll take the Thunder in
Thanks.
that one.
Thank you.
I think they might take one game off the Nuggets.
Rank?
I think Brandon Ingram's been really hot recently.
Yes, he has.
He's
Yeah.
been very hot.
He's a good-looking guy, and he's been playing very well.
Okay.
I think the Pelicans pull off the upset against Lakers in the first
Wow.
play-on game. I think the Pelicans get the 7 seed. I think they've shown playoff time that they're a very ferocious team. I think they can step it up and do something even without Zion. I also agree the Thunder beat the T-Wolves, and that sets up a Truett's nightmare scenario, a Thunder-Lakers last play-in spot game.
Oh, God.
And I just don't see LeBron falling out of the playoff spots. I think he gets the 8th seed, and I think it sets up a very interesting Lakers-Nuggets first-round matchup.
Interesting.
I like both of your guys' scenarios, and I could see both happening.
Do you think if Zion comes back first round in your situation, Rank, and they're playing the Grizzlies, if he's limited to we'll say 20, 25 minutes a game, I think they could still win that series.
Absolutely. Did
Yeah.
the Pelicans push the Suns last year, too? Did they beat the Suns? They pushed the Suns to 7 games.
You know
Zion.
who beat the Suns last year?
Yeah, I think the Pelicans pushed them to 6 or 7 games last year. So I think the Pelicans, even without Zion, could do damage. With Zion, they can knock out the Grizzlies easily.
Let me confirm that for you, because I would like to see who they did beat, or because I remember that playoff run was very
I don't know if they
good.
beat anybody, but they definitely pushed somebody far.
Was it the Grizzlies? No, because the Timberwolves lost.
It was the Suns.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they pushed the Suns a little bit.
I mean,
yeah.
it went to 6.
Jose Alvarado played out of his mind
Yeah,
that
it
series.
kind of made Chris Paul's his son.
Herb Jones was going ham too.
Mm-hmm.
But the Pelicans are very complete roster.
Exactly.
Their role players are insane.
Mm-hmm. So that's why I think they can. I think they can knock the Lakers. I think they could do damage against Grizzlies. Little
Hopefully
BI
Zion.
revenge game.
I'd love to see Zion come back and play because I think that would just change the Western Conference significantly.
Yeah, they could push for a Western Conference Finals.
They
match.
could.
How good for the NBA do you think a Suns-Lakers matchup would be? 33% chance of happening. Durant and LeBron have not played each other since 2018. Just
Nope.
from a pure entertainment perspective.
That would be sick.
Yeah,
Be heavily on the Lakers bandwagon for that one.
it would heavily be on the Suns.
we'll have to see when it happens. Let's briefly talk about the new CBA rank. Why don't you?
Yeah.
Let's introduce this.
So CBA, NBA, and NBA Players Association agreed to it. It's still got to get players' approval, but basically it seems like it's been ratified at this point. Key highlights about it is they got rid of positions in the All-NBA, which I know Truett's been clamoring for a while. Big news there. I don't think it goes into effect this year, but next year going forward it should go into effect. 65-game minimum for awards. We'll see how that changes, like resting and lower management, stuff like that. Another big thing is they're allowing teams to have 3 Supermax players, which is really big for teams like the Cavs, who currently have 2 guys with Donovan Mitchell and Garland on Supermax, and Mobley coming up soon. That could be a team that's looking at it. They raised prices for contracts. I think Jaylen Brown's extension got 20% more expensive, something like that. And the last thing is they created a hard cap. I think it's 15% or 20%, $17.5 million over the tax line is the new secondary cap limit, which I think stops teams from. Let me read the actual rules. Teams will lose several key team building mechanisms, including a taxpayer mid-level exception, and utilizing cash in trades and moving first-round picks and drafts that are 7 years away. So players this impacts is when you think of key off-season signings like Dante DiVincenzo couldn't be signed by the Warriors the offseason. Joe Ingles not being signed by the Bucks. Gallinari not to the Celtics. Patty Mills to the Clippers. John Wall is not going to the Clippers. Norman Powell, Robert Covington were also not be able to go to the Clippers. So definitely limits the big team's ability to keep building teams around and sees what I think it's going to try to create some parity in the league. I think it's kind of nice.
Reactions?
It's great.
The only thing I was thinking about, so I saw somebody tweet this.
Can we talk about the fun stuff? Like the play-in tournament and get rid of all the positions. And
can we do the 65-game thing?
Yes.
The 65-game thing.
Yeah.
I saw a tweet about that, and somebody said that they're going to start pulling the Drew Holiday thing they did last year, where Drew Holiday came in, had 1 foul, and then left the court. And I wonder if that's actually going to happen.
Hey, if that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do. Go make your money. I love it.
You going to see more of that? You think so?
I hope.
It also messes up averages, though.
But
so.
I think guys won't do their load management as much because of it.
Do you see? But also, do you think you're going to see a bunch of guys just the top guys are all going to play 65 games a year and that's it?
It's better than what did Kawhi? How many games has Kawhi played the past couple seasons? Hasn't been 65. That's for sure.
Oh, I guess the other fun thing I didn't talk about, the pool play, the in-season tournament.
Yes.
Yeah. So what's the implication?
So it's going to include pool play. It occurs in November with pool play, and then 8 teams advance to a single elimination tournament in December. The Final Four will be held at a neutral site in Vegas.
And
then there's going to be one extra. The 2 finals will ultimately play an 83rd game that would not count in the regular season. Winning teams will earn additional prize money.
And did those games don't count towards regular season?
They do.
Oh, they do.
All of them count towards regular season games. Yeah.
So you're not going to see guys tank then, or stars sit out for that.
No, these games will count towards regular season games, except for the final. All other games will count towards regular season standings.
Very cool. That's the way it should be.
So I'm guessing teams that probably don't make the tournament, they'll just pair them up
games,
and play in a thing like that. So I think it's kind of fun.
Cool. That's pretty cool.
November, December, not a lot of people talking about basketball and NBA stuff at that time period, with football dominating, and see if NBA can gain a little traction. It'd be kind of cool. They could even play the final on Christmas if they wanted to.
That would be great. That would be really good for the NBA.
Yeah, Final Four finals on Christmas Eve would be Christmas Day. It could be a fun thing.
I like that a lot. They also got rid of all of positions in all NBA awards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah.
I think we were all waiting for that to happen.
Especially with how much that impacts contracts these days. You gotta get rid of it. It's just top 15 best players in the NBA now at this point.
And that's the way it should be.
Yeah, I mean, I think if this had happened 5 years ago, it'd be interesting to see all NBA teams would be 75% guards or forwards. But now, I mean, with the rise of a lot of good centers and forwards, I think that's not really an issue anymore.
It really is the irony, because a couple of years ago they were talking about how they should eliminate the center position from the awards, things like that. But now it's the other way around.
Okay, so we got 3 games left for some teams, 2 games left for other teams. What are you guys all NBA teams? We got who's on your first team?
That's a really good question.
Ooh.
And we're
us on
doing
the
this
spot
position
here.
list. We're doing a position list too.
Okay.
So we'll just go. Give me your 15. Top 15
Can I go
players.
Top 15?
I mean, or give me.
Let's go first team.
Just give me your first team. Yeah.
First team. Giannis, Jokic, Embiid, Tatum, Luka. Giannis, Tatum, Embiid, Jokic, Luka.
You got any honorable mentions in there?
Shea.
I'm gonna throw Shea and Sabonis.
I think Dame will also probably get in one of the top teams.
He'll probably be second team, right? He's got to be.
Yeah, Rank. I really liked your top 5.
Yeah.
Can I say the same?
I don't. Yeah.
I think that's a pretty
that
consensus
was
top 5.
Yeah, that was my top 5 as well.
I think the second team is probably when it gets a little more interesting.
Okay. What about second team?
I gotta pull up some stats. Give me a
Where does a
minute.
guy like Harden fit in? You think Harden's getting like a third team this year?
I don't know. You see, Harden's numbers are like they mirror Steve Nash's MVP numbers. So they're just funny.
They're just better.
It's just funny the way it works.
Yeah. Is Ja getting on an All NBA team this year?
No.
No.
Nope.
I will put Dame, Shea, D-Mitch, Sabonis.
Yep.
Dame, Shea, D-Mitch. What about Kawhi?
What is? I don't even know what Kawhi's like.
Jimmy Butler? Jimmy Butler's having a quietly good season.
Really?
He's trying to keep a team together. Marketing?
Oh.
You think Marketing deserves it? I think Marketing
He might
deserves
get a-
some
He
all
might get a
team.
third team.
Yeah.
I might.
Darren Fox has
I
to
might
get
throw
it.
Oh,
Jalen
yeah,
Brown on there
Fox.
too. As much as I hate to say it.
I think second and third teams are going to be very, very cool. We're going to see a lot of guys that haven't made
And
All-NBA.
Steph's Curry's going to get an All
Yeah.
NBA.
I don't
He'll
know.
probably get a second team just because
Yeah.
it's Curry.
I don't know if LeBron's played enough games. I feel like that'll definitely come into a factor here. I mean, he's averaging 29, 8, and 6.
Steph might get
50.
first team this year, actually, because he needed another guard.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'd take Shea over,
Oh shoot!
over
I
Steph.
forgot we're not doing the.
Yeah.
In my mind, I was thinking positionless.
With actual...
No.
I know we're talking
yeah,
positionless,
We're talking
but
positionless.
actually positions,
You
probably
think-
Steph.
You think Steph gets a first team this year?
Yeah.
Really? I mean,
Steph, do you think Shea could get a first team now?
I think over Steph, I
would
think
love
he
that.
should
I would
because
love that.
you look at like importance to your team.
Yeah, but all NBA is in my mind is completely different than MVP because it's not
Yeah.
important to your team. It's who's the best
I
player.
think Shea had a better season.
Maybe
I think he
it's
did.
definitely an argument. It's a fair argument.
I'm glad I'm not the one voting because this would be stressful for me. It's a tough decision. There's a lot of good players out here that are all deservingly of 5 spots.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Do
we'll see it.
you guys want the trivia? NBA
I would
trivia
love
question?
the trivia.
All right. I don't think I've done this one before. If I have, my mistake. Since 1999, can you guys name the players who have won both the regular season MVP and the championship in the same season?
Do they have to have one Finals MVP too?
No. Just the regular season MVP.
But they probably did.
How many players was it?
Let me count.
Michael Jordan.
It's a safe guess.
I said since 1999.
LeBron,
And there's 6. LeBron did it twice, 2011 and
Shaq.
2012. Shaq did in 99.
When you say, you said 6? 6 instances or 6 players?
6 players.
So it's Shaq and LeBron. When did Dirk didn't get his MVP in 11,
It
right?
was 2007 he won his MVP.
When did Kobe get his MVP? Was it?
Kobe.
Kobe did
Yeah.
it 07, 08. That's 3.
I thought they won in 9 and 10.
They won 99,000.
Did they win the first matchup with the Celtics or the second?
First one.
Oh, okay.
Wait, no, yeah.
No, I thought the Celtics won in 08.
Yeah, they did. So they won in 08.
Is this stat muse messing with me today?
Silly stat muse.
But 08 is like it's not.
So he would have
09.
had to have won his MVP in 09 or 10, right? I don't know. Who else?
Just remember he was on
Curry.
the cover of that.
Oh,
2K.
Curry. That's an easy one.
Yeah.
2K.
Giannis, no.
Did Giannis win that MVP that year?
How
or no?
long ago was? Because Jokic was the last two. Who were the last two champions?
Warriors.
And then Bucks before that. So no.
All right. This NBA stat muse is messing with me today.
There's got to be a Spurs player on there. Is it Tim? Is Tim
Duncan did it. One second.
Tim
I got a better one. We can do.
Wow.
I'm dropping the ball.
Listeners are getting lucky. They get 2 trivia questions today.
All right. The real trivia question today is: can you name the guys who have won both MVP and Finals MVP in the same season? That I have an actual stat
since
from.
1999.
No, forever. There's 10 guys in history.
Michael Jordan,
Yep. Jordan did it.
That's a tough one. LeBron.
Yep. LeBron did it.
Larry Bird,
Yep. Larry Bird did it twice.
Curry.
No.
Oh,
didn't do
Curry.
it.
No, he didn't get that. That's all right. He got robbed.
Magic.
Yep. Magic did it in '87.
Is Kobe on there?
Kobe's not on here.
Shaq?
Shaq is on here. 2000. You're at 5. I'll give you Tim Duncan because you said
Yeah,
Tim Duncan
Tim
for the other
Duncan.
one.
Is Kareem on there?
Kareem is on there, yes.
Bill Russell.
No.
Really? Wow.
I don't think he had Finals MVP back then.
They didn't count reboundeds back then either.
You're missing 3 guys.
Crazy. Blocks.
Can we get decades?
2 guys. So 170s, 180s,
Hakeem Olajuwon.
190s. Yep, that's Hakeem.
Yeah.
That's 90s. 70s and 80s.
Moses Malone.
Yeah, that's
Yep,
a
that's
great
the
guess.
80s.
70s?
70s.
Oh, boy. Do we know this guy?
Yeah, unfortunately, he just died recently.
Oh, Willis Reed.
Willis Reed.
Ah,
R.I.P.
Rest in
R.I.P.
peace.
But
Rest
yeah.
in peace.
Now that's an actual.
Thank you for the trivia rank. That concludes our NBA segment. But don't go anywhere. We're going to cut to a quick commercial, but we are going to get back into opening day MLB reactions. You're not going to want to miss this. Stick around. 89.1 FM, WXVU, The Roar. You're listening to Fun in the Locker Room.
I'm Aubrey Bowles, the host of Sports Fanatic, and you're listening to WXVU V89.1 The Roar.
Villanova University's WXVU Villanova. Visit our all-new website at wxvu.org. We're on air serving the main line at 89.1 on your FM dial, or stream us anytime, anywhere on the Radio FX app.
The life of a college student can get busy and overwhelming. You have exams to study for, papers to write, internships and jobs to apply for, and co-curriculars. However, it is so important to take a step back and practice self-care to calm your anxiety. According to Thrive 365, a portal from the Office of Health Promotion, you should make time for things you enjoy, like listening to music and spending time with friends. You can also try recentering techniques like yoga or meditation to promote relaxation.
Learning what triggers your anxiety is key to preventing it. Make sure to set boundaries and celebrate your small successes. Give yourself some love. If you'd like more ways on how to reduce and prevent anxiety, visit thrive365.villanova.edu.
Now, here's your 3-day weather forecast for the main line.
After some morning fog, we'll see a mix of sun and clouds today, a high of 72. Partly cloudy tonight, down to 60 for a low. Clouds around for your Thursday with a chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon, a high of 81. And a mix of sun and clouds Friday, cooler, a high of 61.
Welcome back to 89.1 FM WXVU, Villanova Student Run Radio, The Roar. You're listening to Fun in the Locker Room. Sean Rankel, Liam Holloway, True Carstetter. As always, we just finished up our NBA segment. We'll be sure to recap next week on the conclusion of the regular season. All these predictions we're making for the play-in tournament, as we do every week, will finally come into fruition. And maybe the play-in tournament, I don't know the specific dates, but the play-in tournament might be happening during them. But now, as we promised last week, we have our MLB opening day reactions. I think we're around like 5-6 games in right now, so still in the overreaction window. But nonetheless, let's overreact. But we'll get into biggest surprises, most disappointing teams, overperforming teams, how are the new additions doing, and any other storylines. But I'm gonna open the floor to you guys, and what's really surprising you right now from what you're seeing?
I really like the pitch clock. I think the new rules have already made an immediate effect, and I think it's been for the better. Hitting has been up. There's been double the amount of stolen bases.
Yeah.
It's just a better product.
The game yesterday by the Marlins, an hour and 58 minutes, under 2 hours.
That was a lot due to Sandy.
Yeah. But you never hear of that
Yeah.
back in the day, and now it's like a possibility.
Yeah.
What do you think about the shift?
I like it a lot.
Mm.
Pure hitters are rewarded.
Or I guess the absence of the shift. Excuse me.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen it, but has anybody done like the 2 outfielders kind of thing?
Not that I've seen. No.
Are you talking about like putting 4 in?
Well, like one team, I think it was like the Red Sox were doing the preseason, having like 2 outfielders on the right side and have a center fielder, no having left fielder.
No left fielder.
Yeah, like putting the left fielder like where the shallow right field.
What percent of hits do you think would go to left field on average? If you had
Depends on the player.
to make up a
But it depends
number.
if it's a righty or lefty.
Yeah.
Like the
That's
lefties,
all,
you would
that's
do
all
it
it's
there.
depending on.
Yeah.
Okay, if it's a righty.
If it's a righty,
always go left
yeah.
field. You pull the ball a lot more.
Pull the ball.
Oh.
Lefties is when you shift like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so there's no reason to put someone in left field there.
No,
Most of the
sometimes.
time.
If it goes there, it's what is that like? It'll be like an in the park home run or
Yes,
something.
that's the risk you're having there.
Yeah, but the numbers say they don't even have to care.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, but nobody's done it yet, and it makes me happy.
All right, very nice. Let's talk about teams individually. What do you want to do? Surprises, disappointing, overperforming?
We're only 6 games in, so
We're overreacting.
everything we say can be taken with a grain of salt.
Can we talk about the Mets? True, is that allowed?
Yes. You
Yeah.
can
I
talk
mean,
about
I don't think I'm concerned. I'm concerned about the Mets, not because they lost 19-0 in the past 2 games. I'm concerned because this lineup is extremely top-heavy. Our pitchers are not pitching well, and they're not hitting. They're not pitching. I'm concerned about Scherzer and Verlander, 2 very old guys, and I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not been a past great couple
Scherzer,
of
he looked very sharp on opening day, and yesterday's start he did not look sharp at all. But it's 6 games in. This lineup's good.
There's a lot of holes in the lineup.
It's a lot of holes, but they're top 5 guys. They can hit.
Yeah.
It's just kind of after that. The problem with this lineup is they don't really have a lot of power outside of Pete, which come trade deadline is going to have to be addressed. I think Brett Beatty should have been the opening day starting third baseman.
He's hurt again now.
Yeah, he just got hurt in AAA. Eduardo Escobar snapped his 0 for 14 snuff to start the season yesterday. He got a hit, finally. But this team has only scored 17 runs through 6 games. They have I think they're tied for they're near the bottom in home runs this season, and it's pretty indicative that this team needs some power to be added into their lineup.
The lone positives, at least in my mind, from this 2 couple games is, one, David Pearson pitched well the other day, and he's
pitching right now.
Pitching great right now. And Senga battled out of a first inning jam, but pitched a great game.
Senga
and
looked great.
Hopefully he can continue. Hopefully he can be a very strong number 3 starter, which would be huge for our rotation.
I think the upside of that contract that we signed him to is going to show this season.
Oh yeah,
and I think he could top out at being an incredible number 2 in the MLB. Other teams to look at, talking about the Brewers, they've smoked us the last couple games.
Mm-hmm.
They've just been hitting the ball, and they've been hitting the ball out of the park. That's why they've been doing so well. Other teams, the Rays are undefeated, only undefeated team left in the MLB. Shout out to Tampa Bay.
On the other side, though, the Phillies.
Yes, I was going to ask. I'm sad that our resident Phillies fan isn't here, but I was going to ask if we could make the Phillies our toilet for the next 5 minutes.
The Phillies have not looked good. They have a run differential of -22.
Ooh.
They finally won their first game the other day.
What was the
Yesterday.
record that they let the Rangers do? It was like most runs through like first 3 games, or maybe like top 3 in MLB history,
Maybe.
something like that.
Finally got their first win yesterday.
Ooh.
They've not looked good. Pitching's been terrible. They have lost 11-7, 16-3, 2-1, 8-1, 4-1. They won 4-1 finally against the Yankees. Are you concerned about them? Like, I know this is early and it's 5 games in. This is overreaction time, but like, they had such a high standard last year of getting to the World Series. Like, can they repeat that?
I think them even making the playoffs last year was kind of a joke. You know, they're really lucky those new wild card rules were instated. Otherwise, that never would have happened. I don't think their pitching is good enough this year to really do damage. They have Aaron Nola and Zach Wheeler, incredible 1 and 2.
Bad starts so far.
Yeah, they both crap the bed a little bit, but they're going to be good for them. But after that, Taijuan Walker's their 3, Ranger Suarez is hurt, he's their 4, and Bailey Falter's their 5. Those guys it's just not good. Their relief pitching is
Terrible.
questionable at best.
Terrible.
Yeah,
It's not
I mean,
questionable.
you like Jose Alvarado, Sir Anthony Dominguez, but outside of that, these guys kind of stink. Obviously, in their lineup's good. You know, Trey Turner's best
Shout out
shortstop
Trey
in the
Turner.
game.
He's
Shout
the
Trey.
only one on this team that's averaging really good stats so far.
Yeah, you have JT Realmuto, best catcher in the game.
Bohm is averaging pretty good.
Bohm's okay. Schwarber's going to hit home runs, but outside of that, like...
There's a lot of guys, like, you look at right field, Jake Cave, like, Alec Boehm's, Stott, Hall,
Derek
like...
Hall, like, who?
Exactly.
It's not Schwarberfest anymore.
They got Turner. Schwarber's just going to hit. Castellanos is going to hit. But they don't really have a deep lineup up and down the lineup, and there's holes in this lineup. Once again, reoccurring thing in baseball, but...
Is Hoskins out for the year?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
he's done.
How long is Harper supposed to be out?
For a while.
Really?
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think the Phillies, for who they had on their roster last season, they definitely underperformed. But this season, they're gonna run into some issues. I think the National League got better.
Harper's not supposed to be back till mid-July.
The NL definitely got better, and their division, it's no cakewalk in the NL East. That's
No.
for sure.
I'd like to kick off the new face, new places segment, if I may, talking about the Padres. Welcome to the Padres, Xander Bogaerts. Wow, I mean, just came out of the gates like looking like our best player, and I'll get into it in a second how that's kind of the fault of a couple of the other players on the roster. But I mean, you look at these stats, like. He's leading the team, you know, in batting average, home runs, RBIs. He's leading us in all the categories. Hits, you know, he's batting 400, OPS. Like, wow. I don't know how you say that. I guess how would you phrase that number?
His OPS is off the charts.
Yeah, we'll just leave it as off the charts. 3 home runs, 7 RBIs. Like this has been a phenomenal addition so far. Outside of that, though, oh my God. Juan Soto's looked garbage. Crone zones looked bad. Manny's been all right. He just got ejected for that for the pitch
So
or
stupid.
the getting to the box violation in the first inning. You know, Trent Grisham, he's there.
Shout out Kim.
Yeah, shout out Kim for the, you know, we split the series with the Diamondbacks, but the first game of the 2-game series. First, you know, Dahl hits the home run in the 9th to tie it up, and I'm thinking, okay, we're gonna get extra innings. And then Ha-Seong Kim, if you're listening and you haven't, go look up the Korean TV, like radio station.
Call of that.
The call of that is just, oh my God, it gave me chills. Yeah, it's just awesome. That was great to see. You know, on the other side of the ball,
Cronenworth's got to pick it up though.
yes, I
Ridiculous.
100% agree. Especially we just
Only
extended him.
Padre picked up my fantasy team. He's doing terrible.
We just extended him too, so he really has to.
Terrible.
Snell had a pretty interesting start. You know, 4 innings, had ERA of 6, but you know, he had 9 strikeouts. Darvish is all right. They're starting Nick Martinez all right. Seth Lugo, thank you. Thanks guys. I'm assuming he won't be starting much once Musgrove comes back. The pitching's been all right. Haters looks pretty good in the 2 games he's played, which is a bright side considering how he looked last time. But yeah, I mean, I don't have the baseball expertise to know what at this point in the season so early on,
Memorial Day is when it
Memorial
you
Day?
can start making picking these things.
Yeah.
you see guys getting like for example, Soto's batting 190. Any concern?
No.
It's 6 games in.
I get more concerned about guys who are getting old and getting over the hill, or who have not been consistent over their career, and guys like Soto, Lindor, Pete Alonso. I'm not concerned about having cold starts. It's a long season. He goes up and downs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the downs now.
It's not good to see the Dodgers are doing really well.
Well, you knew they were going to do well.
I know. They lost a couple guys.
Yeah, but they're the Dodgers.
The Dodgers.
Yeah, Trace Thompson, 3 home run game the other day. Shout out.
Yeah. Do you guys want to, have the floor to take a little poopy on DeGrom?
Yeah, that first start was awesome. Somehow the Rangers ended up winning that game.
What a great outcome. DeGrom pooped the bed and the Phillies lost. What a great outcome for you guys.
Yeah, I guess it was perfect.
Just how he drew it up.
Yeah. But I was really surprised that after that game, some news didn't come out that he was going to be missing 8 weeks with elbow inflammation or some BS like that. But, it's tough. Pay a lot of money for that guy, and he doesn't show up. I'm not
I've been used to it.
Not too upset. To have fun in Texas with that money. We'll see if they make the playoffs.
Have the Rangers? I mean, so they're leading the AL West. Is this like an overperformance? How do you
it's
interpret
5
this?
games in. The Astros, the Mariners. I think the Angels are better. Which, if the Angels are better than you, that's a serious issue.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
But
What's up with the Astros being 2-4? Was it just a tough series for them?
lost 3 in a row. Who'd they play? I know they had some losses against the White Sox. Oh,
White Sox.
yeah.
Lost 2.
Wow,
two
they
to
dropped 2 to the Tigers
Yeah.
back-to-back games.
Playing the Tigers right now too.
Yeah. I mean, we're 5 games in, 6 games in. There's no need for any teams to start, hitting the panic button now. Shout out to the Twins though. They've only given up 6 runs this whole season. 4-1 right now. That's pretty incredible.
Is that just attributable to really good pitching? I guess that would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't have much more to say.
Yeah. Any other storylines? I guess we really just need greater sample size to talk about.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Well, make sure to stick around for next week because we'll have a whole another week of games under our belt. Maybe some better storylines, and then as Rank mentioned,
Oh my God.
the Memorial Day show is going to be. We'll make it a nice special show.
We won't be here for Memorial Day.
We will not be here for Memorial Day. I just clicked. Brain's turned off right now. We're almost at Easter break. Last thing that we're going to talk about on the show is just wrapping up the NCAA tournament. UConn they dominated the entire tournament. Their closest game before the championship was the game they had just played, and that was 13. Every other game they had won by 15 or more. SCSU was playing some dominant defense. Is this just the way we expected the game to go?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
it.
the UConn's just. It's interesting to me in college basketball because they just annihilated so many teams. But if you look at this roster, none of these guys are really NBA talent guys. A couple of them might get picked in the 15s, late first round. I don't know. I feel like the talent level in college basketball just wasn't the same this year in general up and down the college teams that were in the tournament. But shout out to them. They did what they were supposed to do, and they went on an absolute tear. And once again, it shows their only losses came into the Big East. 8 losses, even losing to St. John's. The Big East is one, if not the best conference in basketball, and UConn's just stamping the already known stamp of approval.
I don't think anyone was surprised by this outcome. You know, everybody knew kind of all season that UConn had the talent to make a deep run. They just got stuffed a little bit in the season, having to play in the best tournament in the country.
Yeah.
Or the best conference in the country in the Big East.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but this win for UConn was a win for the Big East. I think we cemented ourselves as the best conference this year.
We could be looking at having 8 teams in the tournament next year.
Yeah, and I think, you know, we kind of deserve that respect. If you look at past champions, past Final Fours, past Sweet 16s.
So since realignment, I think it's been 7 years since realignment, and 3 of the national championships have been Big East teams.
And we've had teams, you know, Xavier made a far run this year.
Mm-hmm. Creighton went Elite 8.
Elite 8, you know. It's time that the Big East gets some of its respect as the best basketball conference in the nation.
I 100% agree.
But, you know, I have a lot of buddies that go to UConn. Shout out to them. They had a lot of fun celebrating, you know. Couches were set ablaze.
Oh.
Cars were tipped.
Oh.
Light poles were knocked down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Wow.
Connecticut knows how to celebrate, and I'm happy for them. That's kind of all we have as a native Connecticut man, you know. All we have is kind of UConn
What do you call
basketball.
a person from Connecticut?
A Connecticuter.
No, you're joking.
No, I don't know.
Connectonian.
Yeah. Connecticut? I don't know. But that's kind of all we had, like, growing up and stuff, so
Yeah.
it's very bittersweet being at Nova and seeing them win because they're our rival now, but makes me a little happy in the heart, you know.
On the bright side, guys, we won our Final Four tournament bracket.
Every single pick.
We got it all right after getting one right.
We got the Final Four right.
We got the Final Four
Nailed
right.
it.
We did it, guys.
We knew it.
We did it.
Thank you.
That's why
And I think
that's
I
why
see,
we're
like,
on this show.
The preseason polls have been looking at, like, UConn, Marquette 1-2 and create another top 10 team. We could have 3 teams in the Big East top 10 going into the season next year.
Won't be us.
Do you think any of these guys on UConn Go get
Pro?
drafted? I know
Hawkins
Hawkins definitely.
Jackson could get drafted second round.
Sunogo right now, it says he may be undrafted, but like the way he's played, I think a lot of teams could use
Low-key
a guy like
Kling
that.
could be a second round draft pick.
I don't think he goes right now.
I don't think,
Freshman,
but if he
backup center.
wanted to,
Yeah.
he could be a second round pick.
I mean, just by being 7'2", playing defense the way he does,
yeah.
definitely.
Women's college basketball championship. We had a shocker. I think we got all our picks wrong for the women's one, maybe because LSU upset South Carolina. No, sorry. Iowa upset South Carolina, and then LSU upset Iowa in a crazy game. 100 points scored by LSU. But I think the big story of the game was all the controversy surrounding Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. And Caitlin Clark getting a technical, Angel Reese almost stalking Caitlin Clark and pointing at her ring finger the entire time. I don't know. There seems to be in my mind, there's a boundary between trash talking and just
Disrespect.
That's a T in the NBA.
Yeah.
You're getting teed up for that in the
Yeah.
NBA.
If you do that in the NBA too, you get clowned like Pat Bev.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to talk on it too much, but you can't really be doing that to someone who just dropped a 30 bomb on you in the Natty. I mean, you know, it just
Angel Reese didn't even play that well.
Weird.
5 of 12. Like she had 2 teammates at least that kind of outperformed her.
It's kind of weird.
3
behavior,
teammates.
but you know, young girl. You can give her a pass for this. I mean, it's a national championship. Who would have thought LSU was going to be there? Nobody. But good game. And Vegas knew.
Yeah. What were you were
Yeah.
bringing it up the other day?
Yeah,
the
so someone
Vegas
was telling me
trick.
that FanDuel, or some gambling site, we don't endorse that here, one of them boosted the odds on Iowa because everyone was on that hype train. They gave people plus money for that, and they just took everybody's money. So, shout out to Vegas. They won a little more. Seems like they always win.
Always.
It really just seemed like Caitlin Clark really didn't have any help. Like you just look at LSU having 3 players with 20 or more, and then Caitlin Clark had 30, and the next highest was 13. Also, I haven't really watched that much Caitlin Clark live footage, but she went 9 of 22. and 8 of 19 from 3. So she only scored one bucket that wasn't a 3 and took 3 shots that weren't a 3. That's kind of crazy.
She's very good. She'll be back next year more than likely and dominating college basketball again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for her.
I can't wait to see her and Paige Becker square off.
Yeah.
When she's finally back. That's gonna be great.
You know, all the records, the viewership records for this game shattered
It's
a lot
huge.
of other a lot of the college bowl games were less viewed than this game, which is crazy. It's great for women's sports.
It's exciting to watch her play.
Yeah.
It is.
And to your point, I did see on Twitter someone retweeted that tweet and was like, the Paige Caitlin Clark game is going to shatter that even more. So I think it's definitely trending in the right direction. It was really cool. I've personally never really been invested in the women's tournament until this year, partly because Villanova was doing well, but all these other storylines were really cool to watch too, and I think it's just great for the sport.
And finally some upsets. The 3 seed winning it all.
Yeah.
It's becoming a little more parity in women's basketball.
Yeah.
Not just the South Carolina Invitational anymore.
More and more exposure, more people playing the game, just better and better.
Anything else about college? What was the last time we're going to talk about March? Probably
Crazy.
on the show.
Sad.
As sad
Congrats
as it
to
is.
UConn. Is UConn a blue blood now? Gotta be, right?
This is my problem with the argument, because
What does blue blood even mean?
Give me the definition.
one, what does blue blood mean? And 2, last year all I was hearing was how Villanova's a blue blood, and then nobody includes Villanova on a blue blood list this year. How does it change overnight?
Yeah, I don't know what a blue blood is, but UConn's won 5 chips in the last 24 years, which is most out of it.
There are some great teams in college basketball, and UConn's definitely up there historically.
We go UConn, UCLA, Duke, Kentucky, Kansas.
I would always put Villanova there just because historically they've won. They've technically won. I know one got. I think they had one back in the 60s that taken away.
It was 85. They won 64.
Taken away?
Yeah, some recruiting violation, something like that.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But we've won 3 national championships we've won 4 national championships with 3 different coaches. So in my mind, that's what makes UConn a blue blood, and that makes Villanova a blue blood.
Yeah.
I like that take.
Consistency over multiple coaches. Duke's only done with one coach, so
That's true.
you could argue they're not.
But he was also there forever.
He was. I know. That's the argument.
Yeah.
That is true. Did you see that the LSU, one of the players is cousins with one of the UConn players? So a set of cousins just won the whole thing. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Good for them.
Nice family bonding.
Yeah.
You guys smell that? Smell some birthdays today.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We got a couple great birthdays today. Shout out to Steven Jackson.
Happy birthday.
NBA player, former NBA player. You know, you see him on TV sometimes. Good personality, good guy. Could dunk the ball, really fierce competitor.
Fierce.
We got a soccer player named Matt Pickens, U.S. goalkeeper. Pickens. Moving over to baseball. Winston Abreu.
Happy birthday.
Yeah,
Happy
Winston.
birthday.
And Mets legend, Lastings Millage. Woo! Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Lastings.
Let's see who else we got on here. In football, we got some guys. I think these guys have to be in the NFL, but there's a guy named Luke Holloway in the NFL.
Nice.
Shout out you. I don't know if he's still in the NFL, but he's 26 today.
Reach out to him.
Shout out to Luke, my boy. Johnny Jackson. Yep. There's a guy just named Jeffrey. It's one name.
He's playing the XFL right now, Liam.
Oh, Luke is?
Yeah.
My boy. There's one guy just named Wooford. Single name.
What are they, like
52.
Cher or Seal or something? What's going on here?
I don't know, but it's pretty cool. Moving over to soccer. Happy birthday to Andre Schmid, Matt Pickens, as you said before, and
Yes.
Rob, you're crap. Shout out to
dude,
Rob.
You just made that up.
He's turning 53 today.
There's no way.
You're crap. You're crap.
How do you spell that? I'm looking that up. How do you spell that?
URKROP. You're crop.
Urqup.
Urqup.
Or crap.
Oh my God! Happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
Well, we're gonna end on that note. What a great note to end on. Happy birthday, you crap. You're listening to 89.1 FM, WXVU, Villanova Student on Radio. We're gonna have some great music for you after this. Great shows later this week. Have a great Easter weekend. Stay safe. Stay warm. Enjoy this beautiful weather. We'll see you next week. Fun in the locker room, as always. Go have some fun in the locker room. Take care.